Who is Kylian Mbappe? Unless you've been cut off from the world, it would be difficult to say that you've never heard of football superstar Kylian Mbappe. A prodigy from the get-go, Kylian Mbappe showed that he was born to play football at any age when no one could possibly understand anything. But his case was different. Even at the tender age of 6, he never ceased to amaze anyone who watched him play. His talent was way beyond what his coaches at the youth level ever saw. The coaches who worked with him when he was just a child said they saw something in him that they never saw in any other player. His first ever club was AS Bondy, a club located in his locality, which saw a few kilometers from the French capital Paris. It didn't take long before he caught the eyes of scouts and moved to one of the most prestigious football schools in the world, Clairefontaine. He didn't stop there. Kylian continued to impress and caught the eyes of the world's best clubs, but ultimately decided to stay in Monaco. After a string of world-class performances there, PSG came knocking and signed the youngster for more than 145 million euros. After sending shockwaves throughout France, he got called up to the national team for the 2018 FIFA World Cup and put in one of the best performances from a youngster in the history of competition and eventually went on to win the tournament. Kylian Mbappe is currently hailed as the next big thing in football, although he has continuously proved that he is not only for the future but for the present as well. The majority of Mbappe's earnings came from his salary, with the PSG bosses writing him a big fat check worth about $28 million per year. But endorsements also contribute a sizable amount as well, racking in $14 million for a speedster per year. Even though his earnings right now aren't small, Mbappe is looking for pay raises. His market value has skyrocketed over the past year or so, with him having reached the UEFA Champions League final and putting together strings of astonishing performances. More prominent is the one against Barcelona in February 2021, where he managed to score 3 goals, hat-trick, and left the world awe-stricken. He is still in the radars of the best teams of the world, and if he decides to choose one of them, his salary might increase to the vicinity of $600,000 to $800,000 per week, in effect making him the highest paid footballer of the time. But for the time being, he seems content in seeing out his contract with the French giants. As we've mentioned earlier, his wages are not his only sources of income, as he has multiple sponsorships with industry-leading companies like sportswear manufacturer Nike, luxury watchmaker Hubbolt, and video game company EA. For Nike, Kylian might be the best athlete to promote their products as he is young and prolific, a combination hard to come by. And if he continues with this rate of success, he might be getting a lifetime deal like the ones Nike has with Michael Jordan and Cristiano Ronaldo, both potentially worth up to $1 billion. Nike hooked Mbappe up with his own boot collection called the Kylian Mbappe Nike Hyper Venom 3, a gesture by football bootmakers only reserved for the finest of the time. Mbappe also had the opportunity to star on the cover of the famous football video game FIFA 21, which he described as a dream come true. Aside from being an amazing experience for him, he must have also been paid a lot, somewhere in the millions. He's been heard saying that he likes playing FIFA with his brother Ethan, who is also playing for PSG's youth side. He has partnerships with lesser-known brands as well, like organic food-producing company Goo Gout and men's beauty product manufacturer Bulk. Kylian does not have a lot of flashy sponsorships and is discreet when it comes to his personal life. His team, composed of his father, mother, and lawyer, works towards protecting his image and cautiously choose who to work with and when, instead of jumping into rush deals that might affect the player's image. The superstar, as we discussed earlier, is discreet and doesn't make a lot of public appearances. He chooses to focus on his craft, and not much is known about how he spends his money. When he's not on his legs running at full speed, it may be because he's putting the pedal to the metal. According to some reports, he owns a car collection worth over 780,000 euros that includes almost as formality a Ferrari. Other cars in his garage include Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Range Rover, and an Audi. Although it may seem as if Mbappe is just another superstar athlete that's living the good life and spends his money however he wants, there's another thing to note that'll make him your favorite player both on and off the pitch. He actively participates in charity work, especially in the area where he was born and raised. He has allegedly given his bonuses from the 2018 World Cup for a charity that helps children with disabilities to enjoy the fun of sports. He was also lending a helping hand during the coronavirus pandemic. Though the amount is not known, he made a very large donation to a charitable organization called the Abbé Pierre Foundation. And that's not all. He has also funded the search for late footballer Emiliano Sala, who disappeared after a horrific accident. Kylian Mbappe might be the player that dominates football for the next decade or so, with his lightning fast pace, brilliant technique, dribbling skills, and his eye for goal. We hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give it a like if you did. Tell us your thoughts in the comment section. For more like this, subscribe to our channel.